What is going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well and having a great day. If you're new around here, my name is Corey Crawford, a photographer based in Wollongong, Australia. So if you've been following my Instagram and you've come across some of my work, you have seen pop up on your feed some product shots. I've been getting a ton of questions on how I actually go about shooting these, along with my lighting setup to create these, but today's going to be something a little different. Typically with these product shots, I have all of these expensive gear, expensive flashes, expensive cameras. I'm going to be shooting these photos with just one single light and my iPhone. This continuous light is the Godox SL60W. I'll be linking that in the description and you can pick it up for yourself for around $100. So with all that said, let's jump into actually setting up how to set up the scene and what to look for when you're shooting these types of photos. So let's jump into setting up the scene. Okay, so before you set up your scene and you decide to start shooting, you need to organize a couple of things. 1, what backdrop you're using. 2, what props you're using. 3, what product you're using. For this tutorial, I'm going to be shooting this watch along with the backdrop of some off-cut leather. When it comes to props, I'm going to be using some antique cameras. They don't work, but they look cool. So as you can see from the props that I've used and the backdrop, they all tie in nicely to the product, which is black and silver. Okay, so let me walk you through my scene. I've got a table here with my leather on the top of it. I've got my product in the center and I've got my antique props, which is the 2 cameras on either side of the product. With my lighting, I've got the grid on to make it a little bit more directional so I can have it focused in on one part of my scene. So I've placed my lighting behind the actual scene, probably about 1 meter behind. I've got it face down at a 45-degree angle and I've got it cranked up to 100%. So this is the only light that we're going to be using for this shoot. As for the product and the backdrop, the first thing you want to do is make sure all of the product and the props are nice and clean with no dust. So I've already cleaned my product before I've placed it down on my scene. So this is basically it. I'm going to be shooting straight down like a flat lay shot. Just keep in mind when you're shooting these types of shots, and if you're doing flat lays, whatever you put in front of your light, say I wanted to put this camera in front, that's going to be blocking the light. So just be wary of where your light is placed and just play around and have fun with it. The whole point of this is to have fun and get creative with your product photography. So on an iPhone, I'm going to swipe down on the right and navigate to the camera. Next, what I want to do is there's this portrait mode. I'm going to click that and that will allow us to change our f-stop. I'm going to swipe to studio light, and then as you can see up the top, there is an F symbol. Click that and then choose your aperture. I'm going to change mine to probably around f2.2. What this is that's the depth of field. So say you're at 1.8 or 1.4 as low as the iPhones can go, it will give you a very shallow depth of field and a blurry background. So keep that in mind, what style and what sort of scene you have set up. So once you have your aperture set, click on the product in your scene, and as you can see, there's this yellow box with a sun symbol pop up. That will allow us to change our exposure. So I'm going to click on the product and then slide down the slider on the right. As you can see, that darkened it and has given us a nice and moody shot. As you can see, this is the type of shot that we've gotten, and I think it actually looks really cool and very moody, which is what I was going for. So let's jump into Lightroom on the mobile and I'm going to show you how I go about editing these moody sort of shots. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is head over to your app store and then search up Lightroom. This is a free app and is on the Google Play and the App Store. As you can see, I've already downloaded it and installed it. Yours should say download. Once it's finished downloading, open it up and you should be greeted with some sort of screen like this. Now the first thing you want to do is click on the plus on the bottom right and you'll find a bunch of options pop up. Click from camera roll. Now click on the shot that you want to go ahead and edit. I'm going to be selecting this one. Once your shot has successfully imported into Lightroom, scroll on the bottom all the way to the right until you see presets. I will be leaving a link to the download for the preset that I'm going to be featuring in this video, so go ahead and download that in the top line of the description. I'm going to be using Crispy, and then it's going to put a bunch of adjustments on that photo. For my personal liking, I think that's a little bit too warm, so I'm going to head over to color and then cool it off a bit. While I'm doing that, I'm also going to be bringing down the vibrance and the saturation. So it gives it that moody black and white sort of look. Next, what I like to do is go ahead and crop it to whatever ratio I'm wanting to post it on, which you can find on the bottom. Click that and then crop to whatever ratio. Once it's done that, I really love with these moody types of shots by doing hard vignettes. So go ahead and go through to the effects and then bring that down. It just darkens the edges and brings more focus to the center of the shot. As simple as that, you've created a really cool product shot. When you're happy with the edits, go to the top right where there's a tick icon. Click that and then you'll find your shot down the bottom there. To export it, click on this icon at the top and then export to camera roll. That's going to export it to your camera roll and save in high resolution. So there it is, guys. I hope you did come away with some new knowledge that you can apply in your own work. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did walk away with some new knowledge, please consider subscribing to this channel and liking this video. That'd be highly appreciated. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching and have a great evening.